I want you guys to mark your calendars and remember today, because this day is the day. This is the moment. And Terence Bud Crawford, he just planted the flag in that moment. It's the boxing revolution.
Ain't paying your ass shit.
Terence Crawford, widely viewed as the top pound-for-pound fighter alive, just drew a boundary nobody anticipated. He's made it absolutely known he's not handing over that $300,000, and he's definitely not apologizing to anyone. For Bud, this stretches far beyond cash or sanctioning charges. It's about principle and dignity. He's staring straight at the establishment, prepared to gamble everything to prove his character can't be purchased.
It's free! How you love that? $180,000 free. How much your belt cost? I wonder, how much your belt cost? Huh? I don't see no receipts on your belt. It's crazy. Y'all be having so much taxes on these belts. You got some nerves. It's crazy that you can sit up there and have all these belts. You know, you got the WBC silver, the WBA intern, the whatever belt y'all got, and you taxing these fighters every time they fight, and you claim that you for these fighters. You're not for these fighters. You probably worse than the promoters. But hey, I wish you the best, you know? I wish you the best, you and your company.
The sports world erupted this morning. Terence Crawford has officially been stripped of his WBC super middleweight title. But if you think this is some dry clerical mix-up or a forgotten deadline, you're missing the real battle. This is an outright uprising. Crawford didn't just lose the belt, he tossed it back at them with a viral meltdown that exposed the ugly, greedy foundation of boxing's power structure.
Mauricio, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Because everybody in the world know you was going for Canelo. You was mad that I beat Canelo. It's okay. It happens, you know? But if you a real fan of the sport, you would have, you know, said congratulations instead of having that little smirk on your face, all mad and pouting. But listen though, you should have took the money, and you should have been thankful and grateful that I was rocking your belt around as your champion. As your champion, the WBC champion. The undisputed champion at that. But you want to make it about you. You want to say, oh, well, you stripping me. Like, I've been stripped before. IBF just stripped me when I was at 147. Doesn't matter. I'm still considered the undisputed champion. I'm still the champion in the division. Because you know why? The only belt that's recognizable as the champion is the ring belt, baby. That's the #1 belt in the division. That trumps all belts.
To grasp why Crawford is furious, you have to view it from the perspective of the man who pulled the belt, WBC President Mauricio Suleiman. According to the WBC, they were actually doing Crawford a huge solid. Normally, when a fighter scores a massive unification, the sanctioning bodies grab a heavy chunk of the purse, usually around 3%. On a $50 million haul, that cut would have been massive, well over $1 million just to wear their green strap. Suleiman claims he bent rules to do Crawford a major favor. He publicly stated they dropped the fee to only 0.6%. From their point of view, asking for $300,000 from a $50 million purse was a gift, a friendly discount for the champion. Suleiman waited by the phone expecting gratitude or a wire. Instead, nothing. When the deadline came and went, Suleiman called it disrespectful, saying Crawford's refusal wasn't simply a financial issue, it was a personal blow to the organization that backed him.
We made a very clear 0.6%, which is $300,000, with $225,000 going to the Jose Sulaiman Boxers Fund, which is to help former fighters in need. And it is just regrettable, not even a thank you or I'm sorry. taking a different route. No response. I wish him the best. But this is not. The WBC is huge, it's great, it's about greatness, and I'm relieved.
Crawford sees that so-called gesture as nothing but extortion. In a video now breaking the internet, Crawford stares directly into the lens with raw anger. He's not reading a statement, he's unloading uncensored fury. His point is blunt but devastating. Why does the WBC think it's special? He reveals he paid the fees for the IBF, WBO, and WBA without resistance. Those groups took the payment and moved on. The WBC was the only one stretching its hand for more. Crawford asks the question every fan is now repeating, who do you think you are? He accuses the group of having an ego problem, acting like they outrank every other governing body. To Crawford, this wasn't a discount, it was a random tax placed on him simply because he made a huge payday. He refused to be pressured into overpaying just because the strap is green. Telling Suleiman directly, I won't apologize.
You know, I see Mauricio, you know, got a lot to say about me not paying him $300,000 plus another $100K something for sanction fees, right? Then he gonna tell me I ain't even apologize? Like, who the fuck you think I am? Boy, you better slap your fucking self. Ain't paying your ass shit. Fuck you talking about pay you $300,000. What makes you so motherfucking better than any other sanctioned bodies? Huh? Answer that question. What makes you better than the WBO, the IBF, or the WBA? Everybody accepted what I was giving them. But you, the WBC, think that you better than everybody, don't you? So since you, the WBC, and you got the fucking green belt, which don't mean fucking shit. The fucking real belt is the ring belt, which is free, motherfucker. What are you talking about? You want me to pay you more than the other sanctioned bodies because you feel like you better than them. How in the world all the sanctioned bodies agreed to the same amount, but you sit your motherfucking ass up there and say that I need to apologize to you? The fuck? You can take the fucking belt.
The tirade gets darker when Crawford shifts from the dollars to the ethics of the game. This is where the situation goes from a contract disagreement to a class battle. Crawford exposes the harsh truth of boxing. He is the one absorbing shots. He is the one risking lasting brain trauma, risking his life every time he steps inside the ring. Meanwhile, the officials collecting these fees watch from comfortable seats, living glamorous lifestyles funded by the suffering of fighters. He paints a vivid, angry image of executives flying private, sleeping in luxury hotels, and eating gourmet meals, while athletes endure the physical toll. He compares sanctioning bodies to a corrupt regime, taxing workers to support the wealthy. When he says, "You better slap yourself," he's expressing the rage of every fighter who has ever felt used by the people in suits. It stops being about $300,000 and becomes about valuing the human sacrifice behind the sport.
That don't even make sense. I'm the motherfucker that's putting my life on the line, not you. You ain't stepping your motherfucking ass in that ring. You or nobody else. You or nobody else. So why should I have to pay to carry your belt? You should be paying me. If you want to be truthful, you should be paying me. I don't see it irks my nerves how this dude gets on a plane, gets a hotel suite. Him and his buddies, they go out to dinner, 5-star meals, all that, you know, and guess who gotta pay for it? Us fighters. We paying for y'all to come out here, have the time of y'all life, stay in the best hotels of y'all life, and it's all done on our dime. It's done on our dime. Do that sound right to y'all? It's crazy, ain't it? We the one out there getting battered, knocked upside our head, and every time we step foot in the ring, we gotta pay them a sanction fee like they the government. We getting taxed. It's crazy.
Perhaps the most devastating element for the WBC in this whole ordeal is how Crawford diminishes the value of their crown jewel. 4 years, the green belt has been advertised as the pinnacle of boxing, the prize every fighter dreams of raising. Yet in a short 3-minute clip, Crawford reduces it to a worthless trinket. He says they can come collect it because it's nothing but metal and leather that costs an absurd amount to upkeep. He then shifts focus to the only strap he claims truly matters, the Ring Magazine belt. His logic is difficult to dispute. The ring belt represents heritage. It represents being the unmatched king of a division. And importantly, it doesn't carry sanctioning fees. By elevating the ring belt as the true emblem of greatness, Crawford sends the message that you don't need to pay the alphabet organizations to be recognized. It's a branding disaster for the WBC, hinting that their legitimacy is purchased rather than earned.
So since you, the WBC, and you got the fucking green belt, which don't mean fucking shit, the fucking real belt is the ring belt, which is free, motherfucker. What are you talking about? You want me to pay you more than the other sanction bodies because you feel like you better than them. How in the world all the sanction bodies agreed to the same amount, but you sit your motherfucking ass up there and say that I need to apologize to you? The fuck? You can take the fucking belt. It's a trophy anyway. The fuck am I paying you every time I step foot in the fucking ring?
Naturally, Crawford has his own explanation for why this is unfolding now, and it involves the fighter he just defeated, Canelo Alvarez. Crawford accuses the WBC of favoritism, specifically bringing up the long saga involving David Benavidez. For 2 years, Benavidez sat as the mandatory challenger for the WBC strap, waiting for his match with Canelo. By the rules, Canelo should have been stripped for avoiding him, but the WBC allowed Canelo to sit on the title without consequences.
Now, since Canelo is no longer a belt holder coming into his next fight, a fight that's still expected to make a lot of money due to Canelo's popularity and ongoing contract with Riyadh season, this means that for the first time in 7 years, not a single sanctioning body will benefit from Canelo's earnings. So the sooner Canelo becomes champion again, the better for them. But for the time being, they'll have to rely on Terence Crawford as their sanctioning fee provider. These sanctioning bodies make a lot of money from Canelo being their champion. Like, why did you think there wasn't any pressure coming from them when Benavidez was Canelo's mandatory? It's because if Canelo lost, then they'll have to rely on Benavidez and his $7 million purses. And if they decide to bully and pressure Canelo, and Canelo says, you know what, screw it, and decides to vacate the belt instead, then it's the same thing. They lose the benefit of a Canelo payday.
Now, the moment Crawford captures that same belt, he is immediately stripped over a payment dispute. Crawford labels this as blatant bias. He believes the organization is upset that he ruined their money machine. In his view, Suleiman and company were silently cheering for Canelo, and now that Crawford disrupted the payday, they are retaliating with strict rule enforcement they conveniently ignored for the Mexican star. It paints a picture of a crooked structure where regulations are enforced only against fighters the organization doesn't favor.
Terence Crawford had an issue with the WBC this morning. They stripped him at 168 pounds. He was complaining about sanctioning fees and things like that. Just what are your thoughts on that whole issue?
¿Cuál es tu opinión de lo que pasó con Terence Crawford por la mañana, que lo dejaron sin el cinturón de la CMB por no pagar la tarifa del cinturón?
Bueno, es algo que se tiene que cumplir, como el protocolo de antidopaje con WADA, pero bueno, él sabrá por qué no quiso pagar.
Look, it's something that it just has to be done, like any protocol, like WADA, for example, right? So it is what it is.
However, before Crawford is placed on a pedestal as the perfect freedom fighter, there's a twist that some of his fans may have overlooked. As social media argues over this meltdown, online investigators on platforms like Reddit have noticed a detail about that $300,000 bill. Reports claim a large chunk of the money, reportedly around $225,000, was earmarked for a specific initiative, the WBC's charity for retired fighters.
This is exactly what we're talking about. Fighters, don't adhere to these rules, don't pay these fees, don't do it, don't fall for it. And then I see in the middle of the show, Nick Khan is on Pat McAfee's show kind of saying the exact same thing. saying that, like, look, this is a perfect example as to why. I think the quote was something like, what was the quote? I saw it here moments ago. Golly, I saw it. Does anyone have it? There was
the quote is, what we're looking to do with the Muhammad Ali Revival Act is presenting a different option for boxers. We'll have our own ranking systems, and the champion will fight the number one contender. Let's do things in a credible way. So they're trying to like organize it in a way that, you know, there's one singular belt, there's a ranking system, UFC style.
This complicates the narrative. The WBC runs a program to support former champions who have fallen into hardship, often suffering from health problems or poverty. If the fee truly included funds for that cause, Crawford's refusal looks less like resistance to corruption and more like unwillingness to support veterans of the sport. The WBC hasn't aggressively used this angle yet, but it's the one counterpunch that could tarnish Crawford's image if public sentiment flips. Is he resisting a broken system, or just refusing to donate money that could have helped struggling fighters? Ultimately, this saga is bigger than a single belt or a disputed invoice. It signals that boxing's power structure is shifting. During his rant, Crawford references Turkey, a nod to Turki Al-Sheikh, the Saudi power broker pouring massive money into the sport to make major fights. Crawford implies that the old systems, the sanctioning bodies with their politics and fees, are becoming outdated. He hopes this new wave of leadership and investment will purge figures like Suleiman who damage the sport with these tactics. It's a bold demand for upheaval. Crawford is wagering that in this era of megafights and direct payouts, fighters don't rely on the WBC the way the WBC relies on them.
Turkey, I hope y'all get that done, man. I hope y'all get that done so we can all see, you know, people face like this guy, you know, go away from boxing because they ruin the sport with all these antics that they do. You know, they got they ranking systems when people be mandatories for years, like Benavidez. You know, they don't strip these fighters, but I give credit to the IBF. They stripped me. They ain't even give me time. They stripped me, pop me. Even though I wasn't, you know, coming back down the way, but, you know, they handled their business. They did what they were supposed to do. The WBC, you ain't never see them strip no Canelo.
So, what's the result? The official records will state that Terence Crawford lost his WBC super middleweight title in December 2025. But as Crawford said with a grin, history already happened, baby. They can physically remove the belt from his shelf, but they can't erase the footage of him beating Canelo.